Hi, this is Carter Hagan with Peterson Plumbing, here with you for a new episode of Drain Talk, where we talk to you about your drains, how to take care of them, and how to maintain them. In today's episode, we're actually going to talk about garbage disposals, the importance of them, what you need to know and what you don't need to know, and how do you take care of them yourself. We're going to jump right into that. So we're going to talk about what a garbage disposal is and what it isn't. This is a Wolverine brass garbage disposal. It's one of our Pro Series brands that we offer. We offer a couple other brands, but this is the one that we suggest to a lot of our customer. It's a good quality built item. It's got a good warranty, and it's what we install even at our own facility. So this here is not a magic food disappearing device. No, it grinds up the food and it pushes it down your piping system. So think about your blender at home. The different items you put into it, the more fibrous they are, the more sticky they are, that's trying to go down your plumbing system. So think of a garbage disposal as a food grinder. And you want to be very careful what you put in that grinder. We're going to talk about the few items that you shouldn't put down your garbage disposal and the things that you shouldn't want in your plumbing system. First off, fats, oils, and grease are killers for your plumbing system. You want to make sure that any of those are disposed of either in a trash can or another method rather than put down your plumbing system. Fats, oils, and grease gunk up the inside of your pipes. They degrade older metal piping systems, so cast iron, copper, whatever's in your home. And they also just cause a place for all of the other material to get stuck to, okay? You want to make sure that you aren't putting fibrous materials, okay? So like celery, other vegetables that are fibrous, like rice, for example, swells up when it's in water, so you want to make sure that you don't just dump all the food from your plate into the sink. I know it gets rid of it, but there comes a certain point where it stops getting rid of it and it clogs up in your drain. Then you have to call us to get your drains unclogged. I'm going to hold this up close here, so hopefully we can see it. Inside of a garbage disposal, you can see there's those grate spots, almost like a cheese grater. That's how a garbage disposal works. So if you can imagine, the more sticky material, the more fibrous material you put in there, the more it gets stuck inside those grates and doesn't allow it to operate. That's also where foreign objects can get stuck. Spoons, knives, forks, any other items that you have in your sink, that's a great place for all of those to get stuck. Now, what do you do when they do get stuck? Well, that's where the bottom of good garbage disposal comes into play. Not all garbage disposals have these features, but the good ones do. So that's what separates some of the big box brands from some of these professional series brands. Now, on the bottom of this garbage disposal, I've got a couple of things. I've got a slot here for an Allen key, and I've also got a red dot. Okay, so we're going to talk about both of them. This red dot here is an overload protection. It's a circuit overload protection. So basically, if something was to get wedged in the side of this grinder and it's trying to run, but it's not able to spin, that motor will try and work and work and work, and it'll eventually overheat itself. To protect it from burning up, it actually trips the circuit overload right here. So if you go to your switch and try to turn on your garbage disposal, flip the switch, no noise happens, nothing happens, there's a chance that this overload protection right here just needs to be pressed back in. But it's important to note, there's a reason that it tripped. There's a reason that it tripped that overload protection. So if you push this back in, flip the switch on, and it's making a humming noise, you want to take and figure out what's stuck inside of it. So most important thing, make sure it's unplugged, make sure it's de-energized. But once it's de-energized, you can then take an Allen key, and typically good manufacturers will throw this in the box of all of their garbage disposals, and a good plumber will leave it in the bottom of your cabinet. So if this ever happens, you're able to solve it yourself. This Allen key actually fits in the bottom of your garbage disposal and allows you to spin the garbage disposal backwards. So if there's something wedged in it and you can't get it pulled out, you can simply turn it backwards and get it broke free and pull it out. Now, once it's broke free, you can plug it back in, turn the water on, and test its operation. If it's running as it should, everything's fine. If it's still making a noise or still having some issues and you can't figure it out, maybe it's time to call a professional. Now, what are some of the do's with garbage disposals? You know, we talked about what you shouldn't put down them, but they are a good device. They are a good appliance, and they work as they're intended to. So, with that being said, when you do run your garbage disposal, try to run cold water while you run it. Okay, the cold water is going to keep those bearings, all of those seals nice and cool as you're running the garbage disposal. Remember, it's a blender, so it's spinning and it needs lubrication and it needs cooling as it's working. Okay. The other thing that you can do over time, garbage disposals, because they're grinding up so much food material, they can become stinky. You can actually take lemon peels or orange peels and run a couple of those down your garbage disposal. Now, I'm not saying take an entire orange and throw it down your garbage disposal, but I am saying you can add some citrus scent to it, and that can help get rid of some of the funk that can be coming from a garbage disposal. So we spent a little bit of time today talking about garbage disposals. We talked about the things that you can put down your drain, the things that can go through your garbage disposal. We also talked about the things that you don't want to put down your drain, the things that'll harm it, the things that'll harm your plumbing system. We also talked about a few things that you can do at home to make sure that your garbage disposal is running as efficiently as possible. And if it is not working, maybe you can troubleshoot and figure out why it isn't. Now, when do you call a plumber? That's an important thing. If you don't feel comfortable working on your garbage disposal, I suggest you don't. There's some items to do with a garbage disposal that can cause some real damage and some real harm to you. And if you don't feel comfortable, leave it up to the professionals. If your garbage disposal is making some noise and you aren't able to figure out if there's anything in it, there is a chance that it could be failing and the actual motor windings inside are actually failing. So if it's making a noise, you can't find a spoon, some sort of foreign object that's in there making that noise, it might be time for a new garbage disposal. Garbage disposals themselves, I would say, last 5 to 10 years, but the more you use it, the more harsh environment it's in, the shorter the lifespan, if that makes sense. Now, another thing, if there's water leaking out of the bottom of the garbage disposal, not around where the seal is at the top and not out of the piping system, but out of the bottom of the garbage disposal, it's time for a new one. Unfortunately, there's some seals on the inside of the garbage disposal, and when those wear out, the telltale sign is it's leaking out of the bottom of the garbage disposal, and once it starts leaking, there's no repair for it. Those are the things that I would suggest you look for, you do, and you maintain your own garbage disposal. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out and give us a call, 563-326-1658. And remember, keep your drains happy and they'll keep you happy. Thank you.